When Cedar Shoals was built in 1972, the Jags played all their home football games at Clark Central for 13 years. We didn't get our own home stadium until 1985. The team would spend most days after school working together to clean up their field from cow manure and rocks, all to be allowed to practice on real grass before a game. Before every game, each player touches the rock before entering the play. The rock represents all the players who didn't get a chance to play on their home field.
The first game in the stadium was my senior year. I was a starting quarterback. I'm pretty sure we played Baldwin.
My sophomore year in 1986, I was on that very first team that ever played on the field, and that was very, very special because of doing something that you'd never done before, being a part of history.
It was an open kickoff, the very first play of the game, and after that, I actually threw the very first touchdown in the new stadium. So I'm very proud of that.
The rock is special. The rock was developed, the idea came along from Clemson University.
And the rock was a symbol that they use actually to rub that rock before each game, home game. And it excited you to want to play hard and be the best player you could on that day.
Everybody touches the rock before we run out onto the field. So that's something that kind of grown up doing, and still today, when I come by the rock, I make sure I try to go and touch it.
It has a slogan on the end of that rock. And it says, those who have trotted on this all, and it's something else I can't remember because it's been so long ago, but it's a significant part of the school history.
The idea of touching the rock before every game came from Clemson University, and the rock was donated by the Chandlers in Elberton.
The rock is dedicated to some of the players that didn't get to play on this field.
We had to play at Clark Central.
I feel like it'll give us good luck, make us do better, and I feel like it's a tradition.
Every team has something that kind of symbolizes something like a connection to the past, so that's kind of what the rock means to us.
It's like the crowd's even bigger because it's like people not even from Athens come to the game. It feels good. It feels good to be a part of history, knowing that I could be a part of changing history last year. That was an amazing feeling.
The significance of the rock didn't get lost over time. Current players still touch the rock before every game and know the meaning behind it.
Although we sometimes on the scoreboard, it said we were the home team, but it just didn't feel like it because we had to travel across town.
Everything stopped in Clark County, and everybody was at that football game. And I think now it's came back to, it's gotten back even stronger now because it kind of balances out. Because one time Central went on a long winning streak, but Cedar's kind of flipped the table on them.
I'd say it had to be back then in the past. For one, the teams was a lot more competitive then. Our first year having to play in that stadium was really big. For us, it made us really excited. I do believe it made us play a whole lot harder that day of that game.
None of those guys ever had the chance to actually say we had a home game and played on a home game, but I was one of the fortunate ones to actually play on the field, and it was a tremendous experience. It's something that you'll never forget. It's something that I've told my children over the years, and it's just an everlasting memory.
The rock represents home for many of the players at Cedar, amongst the dedication that drives the football program. This Friday, the 53rd Classic City Championship game, the Jaguars will take on their rivals, the Gladiators, for what they hope will be another win. For WJAG-TV, I'm Keke Raiford.